Yesterday, if you remember, I did a story sharing how these business owners around Capitol Square felt about the demonstrations that have been going on downtown. And if you remember, not everybody feels the same. This quarantine is being enforced by the RAs on every floor who are making sure all the students are following all the rules, making sure they do not leave the buildings. There's even been signs placed on the outside of this building here at Celery Hall, letting any outsiders know that they are not allowed inside. It's only going to get that much more exciting a little bit later, but this is just one of many options that you have tonight if you're looking for some family-friendly options. So this is obviously great news for teens who are trying to get their licenses relatively soon, but maybe not so great news for the people who are worried about those teens who are getting behind the wheel and on the roads. So bad that we had to move out of that area, so that's really a testament that if you're out there, do not drive, stay indoors. We just cannot escape these floodwaters. Here I'm surrounded in water in what's supposed to be a parking lot for the Railroad Museum, but you can see that this goes much further than where we're just standing right now. Water levels from that flood were well above my height, but right now things are looking much better. The creek, the water levels here are back to normal. You know, earlier today, people from their apartment homes were able to see large plumes of smoke in those flames. But right now, this is what the scene looks like. A woman who is kind enough to let her use the roof of her apartment has an aerial view. When you drop your kids off at school, you want to make sure that they're safe. Part of that safety is knowing who's coming into your schools and where exactly they're going. A postal worker that we spoke to earlier says that there is a severe staffing shortage at the USPS here in Madison, and not only is it having an adverse effect on the employees there, but it's also meaning that it could affect you. You might be getting your mail a little bit later because of it. Fluorinated compounds are not something new. You know, they've been around. They're found in the air that we breathe and the packaging that our food can come in, but now they're even found in our own drinking water. Like waking from a bad dream.
I almost forgot that it was quarantine. I put on my shoes and everything. I was getting ready to go over to Gordon for food.
Tyler Ruth realized this is his reality today.
And then I remember that we can't even leave the building.
Ruth never expected to spend the start of his freshman year trapped inside these four walls. He talked with us through his 8th floor bedroom window in Celery Hall.
That there's a couple floors that like half the floor tested positive.
The UW told nearly 2,000 students this would be their life for the next 2 weeks, only allowed to leave to get university-provided food.
I know people in Woody only got a banana and water. That's it.
Predetermined menu. Looks like we're having sandwiches today.
Students standing in line waiting for their lunch today said this is their only opportunity to get some fresh air.
I think once we leave, we have to we can't come back in.
Inside, it's mostly freshmen. Many saying it's quiet. People are staying put, doing schoolwork.
We do value everyone's health and safety. That's the #1 priority, but we'd also really want a full college experience.
But this is the reality for the students who are forced to stay here, missing out on what they dreamt their college experience would be.
Last night, it was kind of people like in the halls saying their last goodbyes, I guess, talking to each other. But other than that, it seems like everyone's pretty much following the rules.
1, 2, 3.
For photographer Paul Giroux,
He can close his eyes.
social distancing doesn't have to mean social isolation.
We do portraits outside on the front porch or sometimes through the window. And those photos have been just so amazingly haunting to me. They're beautiful.
In a world that none of us wishes were reality, Giroux is finding a way to capture the beauty in a situation we all wish we could escape.
I think we'll be totally different from once we get on the other side of this. And I want to capture this for people.
Right now, he's working pro bono on a project called Portraits in the Time of Corona, capturing what social distancing and time at home looks like in our world for what it's suddenly become.
And I just feel like this is an important thing to do to really connect with families here locally, but also to record this time in our life so that when the kids and the grandkids and their grandkids look back, they have these portraits of what they were going through at that time.
While following the social distancing rules in place by the CDC.
Get really relaxed, real comfortable there.
Giroux is capturing the moments we are all struggling to find some assurance in. And he's reminding us all that the one thing more precious than our time is the people we spend it with.
Hopefully we'll get through this quickly, hopefully. I pray that we do.
In Lake Mills, I'm Jamie Perez.
This will give them something to remember.
News 3 now.
Thanks you guys, thank you very much.
Samantha Scaife's family means everything to her. 5 kids, all under one roof. A roof she's trying to keep over their heads.
There's no way families can survive like this. and I don't want to end up losing our house.
She is one of thousands still waiting for her unemployment benefits to hit. She's been sitting on it anxiously for 5 months with no income.
I've just been stuck in limbo since.
She says her savings are depleted, gone, leaving her constantly stressed about which bills she can pay for the month.
We actually had to sell one of our TVs just to, I think it was 2 months ago, to just make up rent. And I was like, we shouldn't have to do this stuff.
Her 5 kids are a handful, as any parent would know. Her youngest, autistic, and needs 24-hour care, making it an impossible task for Scaife to try to apply for another job.
I told my fiance last night, I was like, I feel like a horrible mom. I was like, I've never felt worse than this.
She said she spends nights crying, sometimes overheard by her oldest son.
I see you crying all the time. And I was like, yeah, it's okay. He's like, it's not okay. And he offered to go out and get a job. He actually applied at, at the Dairy Queen here in Culver's. And he's like, I'm 14, I can work. And I was like, no, that's not how this works. You don't take care of me.
As a mother who says she's just trying to keep this roof over her kid's head, a life she's worked hard to have, she's waiting for someone, anyone, to help her keep moving forward for the sake of the people she cares about most.
I'm really hoping that this will make it so something happens, something moves forward, because I don't know, honestly, how much longer I can keep this up.
First things that we all deal with in the morning is our cars. And first things first, we gotta get all this ice off the windshield. Most of us usually can get an ice scraper out of our cars. Well, if you do not have one of these ice picks, you can always use a credit card. Literally just take it to your windshield. Works like a charm. The next order of business is dealing with your side view mirrors. You have a plastic bag just lying around. You wrap the plastic bag around the mirror, and just like that, it's now protected from the ice. Next, I want to talk to you about your tires. If you are ever stuck in a situation where your tires are in a spinning rotation, you can't get out of the snow, all you have to do is grab the mat from inside of the car, place this mat down, reverse your car, and voila, you're unstuck. All right, and the last thing that I want to show you is how to take care of your windshield wipers and keep them from getting frozen. Now, many of us know the trick of keeping your windshield wipers up to keep them from getting frozen to your windshield, but if you use something like a sock or a glove and you stick it right to the end of that, it's kind of a cute way to keep that frost from accumulating at the end there. Of course, those are just some tips, but we wanted the experts to weigh in as well.
We do recommend that people have an emergency kit in their vehicle that will help them out in situations like that, having a small shovel that you can dig out your wheels, we recommend having some kitty litter, particularly non-clumping kitty litter that can help increase your traction.
Of course, those are all good tips to remember. I hope you took some notes on all of those things so you can stay as safe as you can in driving in these conditions. Reporting from our parking lot, I'm Jamie Perez for WISC News 3.